MTL World at World 1 YouTube channel. Chapter 232 The Clash of Three Powerful Men. 11th of Volume 6. The God King Zongfu looked at the woman in the purple robe and Luo Feng, faintly sensing something was wrong. My identity has been exposed, but I can't see through these two at all. Whether it is the invisible force released by the woman in the purple robe, or the two beams of golden light emitted by Luo Feng, made it difficult for the God King Zongfu to deduce their identities. With the enemy hidden and himself exposed, the God King Zongfu naturally felt something was off. Regardless, no one on this origin continent can kill me. The God King Zongfu also had a bit of confidence. At all costs, I must fight for it and obtain this 1,000 dream fruit. With the treasures I have accumulated before, I can exchange for an ultimate realm pure source Xuanhuan bloodline. Given his status, he naturally had dealings with the three alien races and was well aware that the origin continent, this source world, was gradually entering its final phase. Once complete destruction occurred, one would either need to comprehend a complete great Tao or cultivate an ultimate realm life form to withstand the destruction. For a long time, he had been unable to comprehend a complete great Tao. So he also needed to prepare a backup plan. With his level of accumulation, he could easily cultivate an ultimate realm life form by using the ultimate realm primordial bloodline. The only issue is that a portion of the ultimate realm primordial bloodline had to be personally refined by an existence at the ancestor level, which was quite costly and high in demand. This dream fruit is mine now. The woman in the purple robe looked at the Zongfu God King and Luo Feng. In terms of life forms and realms, I am above them. If I lose to the two of them, that would be a joke. She was very confident in her own strength. This is my first time clashing with someone of the same level. Di Zhufeng and Di Wu, without the transcendent God King level treasures, indeed lack some deterrence. Luo Feng thought. Most of the emperors and monarchs have no clones, and only a handful of them come to the deep areas of the dream realm. Those who have only one true body, when venturing outside, carry a full set of, beyond God King level, treasures. With secret treasures their combat power is so strong that it rivals the level of world sovereigns and world beasts. If they are in their own cities, their strength is even more terrifying. However, without these external items, their deterrent power is reduced by more than half. Zongfu God King and this mysterious expert, even without treasures, their strength is still quite formidable. Luo Feng did not dare to be negligent even slightest. The three powerful beings each had their own thoughts. Suddenly, without a sound, an attack descended. Tear. Luo Feng felt a piercing pain in his soul, and an invisible force was stripping away the life force of his world. This concept-based, life deprivation, technique was extremely sophisticated. However, Luo Feng's 24 phases forms were too stable, and the life force of his world was too vast. Concept-based, life deprivation, couldn't shake Luo Feng at all. What a formidable Lord, Zongfu God King. Luo Feng was quite surprised. The great path of life's origin, if fully mastered, would have no shortcomings, and its attacks would be equally terrifying. Life deprivation, targeted not only the physical body but also the soul. The great paths are interconnected. Many great paths have some common elements. For example, the Great Path of Life also has a branch of death. However, compared to the Great Path of the origin of death, it is much simpler. Similarly, the Great Path of Life is the concept of life itself, which also affects the soul. However, it is far inferior to the Great Path purely focused on the soul. The combination of life and cause and effect makes the attack so bizarre. Luo Feng thought. Zongfu God King was very astonished. My life deprivation has no effect on the two of them. Are they both ultimate beings? Life deprivation is obviously a very powerful technique, but the black-robed golden-masked strongman and the purple-robed woman had very strong physical bodies and souls. Zongfu God King couldn't shake them at all. Since Zongfu God King has made a move, why isn't this black-robed strongman making a move? The purple-robed woman looked at Luo Feng with a smile. Once I make a move, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to fight back. Said the black-robed golden-masked Luo Feng, whose strong foundation in both body and soul gave him complete confidence. Even though the emperor and the purple-robed woman master had a full set of powerful secret treasures, Luo Feng was not afraid at this moment. Not to mention in the deeper regions, where everyone had left their secret treasures behind, Luo Feng was certainly very confident. The God King Zongfu stared at the black-robed expert. Ha ha ha, the woman in purple laughed heartily. You just go ahead and make your move. Alright. Luo Feng nodded. With a thought. At this moment, the woman in purple and the God King Zongfu felt as if the world had disappeared, and they could only see Luo Feng's calm eyes. Those eyes transformed into an incredibly massive star, slowly rolling forward with an unmatched might. It naturally crushed towards the mental will of the woman in purple and the God King Zongfu. Luo Feng's mental will was, at this moment, completely unreserved. Even the use of the Liyuan technique is more profound. Of course, Luo Feng was unaware of the true identities of these two, and he still showed mercy. In the past, whenever he used the Liyuan technique to completely annihilate an enemy, he would crush their mental will to the point of nothingness. But this time, Luo Feng only intended to shatter their mental will, and he was prepared to spare the shattered fragments of their mental will. As long as these two opponents retained some remnants of their mental will, they would not die. It was just a matter of competing for treasures. Luo Feng had no intention of killing them, and he even suspected that these two might be members of the Reincarnation Tower. Boom. Although it seemed slow, the mental attack was instantaneous. The will of Massive Star first crushed the mental will of King Zongfu. Indeed, King Zongfu's mental will was shattered into fragments, but Luo Feng did not completely annihilate these mental fragments. The star will then crushed the mental will of the woman in the purple robe. Luo Feng's expression changed slightly. When the will of Starry Sky passed over the mind of the woman in the purple robe, it felt an extremely strong resistance. When it touched her mind, it also felt that her mind was extremely resilient. Booma. Although the collision caused many cracks in her mind, she still withstood it. Her mind's will hasn't surpassed the God King level. But she still withstood it. Luo Feng instantly judged. Her body has a strong obstruction against my mind's will. She should be an ultimate realm life form. Her mind is clearly at the God King ultimate realm will, but her resistance ability is also extremely strong. At this moment, Luo Feng was very confused. Who is this woman in the purple robe? Ah! The God King Zongfu felt as if his mind was about to collapse. At this moment, he thought of facing Di Qing and the Flame Ancestor. Di Qing and the Flame Ancestor had both used will attacks against him before. Flame Ancestor or Ancestor of Yangfeng Ancient Kingdom. Di Qing and the Flame Ancestor had used many killing moves, even destroying all of his surface clones and resurrection vessels. This black-robed strongman showed mercy. If he wanted, he could have destroyed this clone of mine. At this moment, Zongfu's mind was shattered, further affected by the deep domain of the dream realm. However, because of the life-saving clone outside, his mind remained intact, allowing his mind's will to recover quickly. That's how mind's will works. To annihilate it, all clones' minds will must be completely destroyed. Otherwise, as long as one clone's mind remains intact, the other clone's minds can all recover. I admit defeat, I won't fight for the dream fruit. The God King Zongfu spoke a word and, using the causal escape technique, vanished without a trace. Under such terrifying will, he couldn't counterattack at all. Booma. However, Luo Feng looked at the woman in the purple robe and began to use different attack techniques from the Liyuan technique. Besides his most familiar, Will of Stars, which transformed into will light blades are also targeting her with full force, the woman in the purple robe completely withstood them. She not only resisted his mental attacks but also endured the influence of the deeper regions of the dream domain. Impressive, although I don't carry any super powerful treasures. The woman in the purple robe looked at Luo Feng. What's here is just a clone, which can take 70% of my strength to resist. You are already amazing. Transcending the will of a god king, there are very few on the origin continent. Di Qing, Di Ming, the lord of the 10,000 realms, but you are none of them. The woman in the purple robe looked at Luo Feng and smiled. I really didn't expect that a new existence with a will surpassing that of a god king has emerged from the origin continent. Luo Feng looked at the other person. I was a bit arrogant just now. You are indeed powerful. Even though you have God King's ultimate will, in front of me. You still have the strength to resist. This battle, it's still uncertain who will win. The woman in the purple robe looked at Luo Feng. Even with just 30% of my mental strength, I can still unleash the ultimate realm techniques. Please. Luo Feng smiled at the other person. The woman in the purple robe looked at Luo Feng, no longer hesitating. After all, constantly enduring terrifying mental attacks wasn't pleasant. She looked at Luo Feng with cold eyes. An invisible attack descended. Luo Feng's physical body immediately began to suffer attacks on various levels, material, energy, and the level of rule operation. Attacking his body and harming his soul in various ways. But Luo Feng himself was like a vast world, naturally operating, and any slight damage would naturally recover. His soul was also based on an extremely strong foundation, with powerful mental will leading the way. Moreover, with the operation of the Lai Yuan technique, he easily resisted these slight soul-level impacts. His physical body is not an ultimate realm life form. And there is no sense of completeness in the Great Tao either. But his body is too vast, and the energy reserves are too immense. Any damage caused by various levels would be instantly recovered. The woman in the purple robe felt a chill in her heart. When the body reaches a certain size, quantity can make up for some qualitative gaps. You withstand one of my moves too. Luo Feng smiled and said, gently pointing. A drop of blood flew out from the tip of Luo Feng's finger. This drop of blood contained a full tenth of the reserves of this powerful clone. The woman in the purple robe felt a sense of horror and fear upon seeing the drop of blood. This drop of blood. In the depths of the Star Tower, there lies a hint of the blood-colored scales charm. Luo Feng had always pursued the 9 branches of the life and death Tao, trying to interpret the mysteries of the blood-colored scales secret pattern. But so far, the strongest he could achieve was the fusion of 2 7-branch secret techniques. At this moment, Luo Feng was using the 7-branch fusion secret technique, a drop of blood. This secret technique becomes more terrifying as more energy is infused into it. Now, Luo Feng had already reached the limit of his mental control by channeling the energy reserves of a perfect divine body into a single strike. Buzz. A drop of blood, just as it flew from Luo Feng's fingertip, suddenly stained the skin of the purple-robed woman's finger. In an instant of contact, this drop of blood immediately began to erode, crazily penetrating every part of the purple-robed woman's body, infiltrating every life structure. When a life structure was completely eroded, this power would be transformed, becoming a part of this drop of blood from Luo Feng. Devour, transform. The power containing my will can be taken away. The purple-robed woman was alarmed. This surpasses ordinary ultimate realm secret techniques, it already possesses the transformation might of a world sovereign. The so-called transformation of the world sovereign, the Lord of Thousand Realms, can also convert the powers of other strong beings into a part of his own strength. This clone of mine can only maintain 30% of my mental power, unable to withstand the erosion of this drop of blood, and must rely on the power of my true self. The woman in the purple robe glanced at Luo Feng, knowing she had to give up. Impressive. The woman in the purple robe said, instantly leaving this dream domain space. As she fled from this dream domain space, a drop of blood also automatically separated from her. After all, containing the energy reserve of a perfect divine body, Luo Feng couldn't let her take it away. Using the Li Yuan technique and 7-branch secret technique, along with blood drop, simultaneously, I did my best, and it only managed to repel one of her clones. Luo Feng watched the direction she left from. I still don't know who she really is. Blank. End of chapter.